Hey guys, welcome to Red Jacket Talk, a monthly segment where we sit down with Black-owned business owners, providing them with a spotlight to share their journey as entrepreneurs and how they got their start in their business. Today we have with us Alan Rogers, creative director, fashion designer, and owner of Iconic Styles. Let's give Alan a big hand clap. Proud clap.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for taking the time out to sit and talk with me today. I know it's been a journey that the people have no idea. They have
Definitely.
no idea.
No
So
idea.
go ahead and just introduce yourself to everyone who does not know you and they're not familiar with your brand. Let us know who you are, where you're from, and where you go to school.
Okay, so my name's Alan Rogers. I am the CEO, creative director, and fashion designer of Iconic Styles. I am from Akron, Ohio. I go to Central State University. I am a senior and a marketing major. So, little some.
Okay. So, excuse me, everybody has their own start where they, had an idea what they wanted to do. So, growing up, what did you want to be when you were a kid?
A fashion designer. It's been something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. Like I started off just drawing, stick figures, and then from clothes, and then from there just kind of like elevated my way up. So, most people want to be doctors and football players, and I said I want to be a fashion designer. I want to make clothes for a living. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
would you describe yourself as a creative kid? Were you a kid who always was sketching or drawing or using things to make clothes with out of like old clothes and just redoing them to make something new?
Um. Yeah. All around, arranged and everything. From the drawing to the recreating to even making things from scratch out of just little things that I've seen. Like I just see like pieces of fabric or cloth and just cut up stuff and then just do little things with make little like headbands or something. Just I found the littlest things. So yeah,
Like, were
pretty much.
you one of those kids who like sold their stuff or like, would create stuff for your friends growing up? Like, what type of kid were you?
Um, what started off as customizing things such as shoes, pants, shirts, eventually turned into sewing, making handmade garments. First even before I like did the actual machine, I kind of did like hand sewing. So went from that to machine sewing. So now I'm just making garments, making good pieces for the good people.
Hey, okay. Okay, so far as sewing, were you self-taught or did someone in your family teach you or did you take classes? How did you learn how to sew?
I am self-taught. I learned YouTube is your best friend when it comes to learning how to do things. Why pay for classes when you can look it up online for free? Hello.
Okay, save them coins, okay?
Okay, stay on course, girl. Stay on course.
Okay, so like what stopped you or kind of pushed you forward from making the custom pieces that you would for people to, okay, let me go ahead and add a name to this and start making my own garments myself?
um, well, pretty much, I think like after a while, as I got into doing it, I thought to myself like, how can I do better? So I kind of like think of ways where I could do better, and then it just hit me. I was like, well, why not actually make it an actual thing and really like invest into it and really make more than just custom pieces. So eventually I asked my parents, like, hey, I want a sewing machine for Christmas. That's all I want. Eventually I ended up getting one, and from there on just been rolling with it, and here I am.
Okay. How would you describe your process as a creative? Everyone has their own process when they're trying to create something for their collection or their business or whatever they're doing that they have their hands tied to. How would you describe your creative process as a fashion designer?
So how I kind of create things pretty much just kind of go by like what's in the dome. Um, like I look at something like, and it can be from anywhere, from like outside, the little thing like a bird or things on the ground, just anything. You know, I just kind of think of like, ooh, I like the color, I like how that look, I like the texture of it. Well, I could probably see that on like on a piece or something. So I kind of think like, ooh, what if it was like on this or like a jacket or maybe a dress, you know? So I kind of go from that. And most times I kind of like, I sketch, but it's more so digital sketching. But before that, I kind of like think of what's up here first.
Mm-hmm.
So like I kind of like go to my head before I draw it out. Because sometimes if I draw it out and I don't like it, then it'll mess up my whole thinking process. So only when I feel like it needs to be drawn, I just kind of go with my head.
Okay, so speaking on the sketching process of it, are you more a digital sketcher or like hand drawn? Which one do you prefer better?
Personally, I prefer digital only because I'm able to really get into those details more instead of versus like if I'm hand drawing it. It's a lot of erasing to do and it leaves marks. Rather me doing digital, if I want to erase them, I can just do the undo button and then just restart where I left off. So digital sketching, without a doubt, is by far better than hand drawing.
Okay. Okay. So what are some of your favorite digital sketching apps for those who are in your position or they're up and coming fashion designers and they don't know how to draw like myself and they want to go the digital sketching route?
So the main ones that I use, so I use Pixar sometimes, which a lot of people didn't know that you can use. I use that. It's another one called Palette Template, some kind of like it's like a template where it's kind of like give you like bodies, like pre-drawn bodies you just draw on them. And then it's another one, but I don't remember the name of it.
Okay, we'll come back to it. If you so happen to remember it, I can drop it down in the comment section below. I'll
Okay.
have all of the app names in the comment section below. So if you do want to find a template that Alan has named and you want to download it to your phone or whatever you use, all the links will be in the comment section. Okay. So, what are some fashion designers who inspire you as a fashion designer?
My number one is Gianni Versace, of course. Gotta love him. Just from his color schemes and his creativeness to how he was. He was different from most designers. Like he was always bold and just out there. Another couple of ones that I was into. Dior is one. Alexander McQueen is another. I say Louis Vuitton, depending on what it is, because sometimes they have good ones. And then there's this one. His name's Michael No. I think he's more like an underground designer, but I love his pieces. Love his fashion shows. Like they're everything, just from like the colors, the texture, the themes. Oh my goodness, the themes is everything. So them is my main ones that I like to look at sometimes.
Okay. So you mentioned Louis Vuitton. Do you like Virgil Abloh's Louis Vuitton, like the stuff he creates, or do you like more of the before Virgil Abloh?
It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
Like some things that he may have, I probably won't agree with versus something that they have, and it's like, okay. So it just really all depends on what it is and how it's done, pretty much.
Okay. Because I was looking at his their new men's fall collection for 2021. Some of the stuff I liked. There was some stuff I was like bro had a whole sweater that was a city. Like it was a city on the sweater, and I was like,
honestly,
why do I need a town on my sweater? In 3D.
Honestly, what I think about that, I look at that as like a more of an art piece than I do a clothing piece. So I did like it because like I got the idea and the vision from it. So it's like, okay, I see where you're going with it.
I definitely
like I wear it out in public. Nah.
Yeah, because that collection gave me like a New York, like well-dressed man, maybe like 70s, with the fur coats and like kind of the pimp hats and the nice Cartier glasses. And then, a lot of the guys were carrying like newspaper type of handbags. I was feeling the collection for the most part. It's just some of those wearable pieces. Well, those art pieces.
Like,
I was just like,
no.
where are we wearing this to? Where are we? You got to go in the door sideways. So you don't show section of the body with your city on, like.
Definitely.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Crazy, girl.
So, like, far as when it comes to, since we're on the topic of collections and creating collections, when you're coming up with a new collection, how do you pick your designs? How do you pick your fabric? How do you decide, okay, this is the style I'm going for the women. This is the style I'm going for the men.
It's simple, quite really. So the way I go about it, so like depending on what the collection is, I kind of like sit there and write it out, kind of like a story, kind of sort of. So depending on how that story is played out, like the piece that I may kind of go by it. So like for example, this collection that I got coming up here in the spring, it's more so, based on like Japanese street racing, a little bit of that. And then I kind of like got inspiration from like movies like Fast and Furious, Tron Legacy, but Kill Bill, if you must, just little things. But I kind of just want to make sure, like, when I come up with a theme, I want to make sure that the pieces are kind of like in that same field. And it doesn't have to mean it got to exactly be 100% like this, but it's like I want the concept to be in there. As long as my vision is in there, that's all that really matters to me per se. So.
Okay. So let's get into this new collection that we have coming out. Let's go ahead and give a round of applause for that. Yes.
Thank you.
We support Black fashion designers on this page, okay? So you have a new collection coming out. Give the people just a little bit about what they can expect from this collection without giving too much. But give us a little tease, just a little tidbit.
Definitely expect a lot of bold colors, a lot of different aesthetics for sure. And then lastly, I would think a lot of surprises. Some of these pieces got some surprises to them that's gonna be like, ooh, it do what? It do that? So got a lot of things cooking in my kitchen over here.
Okay. So you said the style for this new collection is like a Tokyo streetwear kind of mixed with Kill Bill type of theme. So are we going to see a lot of spandex and bodycon?
Not necessarily.
Okay, so you're kind of, because your style is kind of like sexy. You like to emphasize the woman's curves, show her body, make her feel sexy. So are we kind of drifting away from sexy? Or are we,
we're still in that field, but I want to make it more funner. And I kind of want to add a little more of a spice to it this time. So it's not more so me stepping out my comfort zone. It's kind of more so people getting an inside look at what's behind the whole sexiness, like what other places I can range in. So like I want to like kind of incorporate my other different type of styles that I like to do. So, especially like how I dress most of the time. So kind of like adding a little bit of that to this one. So, you'll still see some sexy for sure. Cause I love for my women to feel sexy and beautiful. So, I gotta make sure that happens. But I know I want to also just add like a little bit more funness to it, something more like creative and more like, ooh, like this is dope. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I can say. Y'all will expect.
Okay. So can you give us a time frame, maybe a date to when the people should be expecting this new collection to drop?
Yes, I want to say April, but I'm not going to say what day.
Okay.
But I will say this day is a big day for me because it's one of my favorite times of the year. So a little hinty hint there.
Okay. If you know Alan, then y'all know what he's talking about. Because honey, I'm over here like, more tea, please.
Yes.
So speaking of like how you build your collections, you focus on the female body a lot. So what inspired you to say, I am going to make women's clothing? Like, why the woman?
Well, one of the things about me, and any family that know me that I've been around know that I'm big on hyping them up, making them feel, good about themselves. Just because, like a lot of times I be seeing like, a lot of women feeling like they don't look good or that they don't feel right in themselves. And see, for me, it's like, no, sis, you beautiful, boo. Show yourself. Do what you pop out. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, because I mean, I know I could do it. A man can do it all day long and wouldn't have a problem about how other people feel. But with a female, it's like people sometimes I feel like they scared to dress a certain way because how people may look at them. You know, like even though it happens in both genders, but it's mainly females that feel that way because
Definitely.
insecurities come in. So especially with my more curvier women, that's the ones I love the most. Love them babies, love it so much.
We
So
said
I
the baby
definitely
has some
love.
little curves, okay?
Okay, hello. Love to see it. But no, I want to make sure that, all women of all sizes, feel good in themselves. So with me doing the collection, you know what I'm saying? Like it just shows like how you can really be an icon in your own way. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's my main goal for as far as women go, just to really make sure that they feel that they look good in every way. They ain't gotta worry about what this person gotta say or this person gotta say. Because at the end of the day, since you look good, you look beautiful, you know what I'm saying? Show it off, rather you skinny or you a little bigger. It doesn't matter, you beautiful.
Okay. Period. That is brought to you by. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to move on to building your business. So, everybody has their own process to how they got started, how they got their business from the ground up. Some people got loans, were able to go ahead and get those business loans. Some people got investments from people in their family or whomever. How did you come up with the money to start Iconic Styles?
A lot of saving for the most part. How I started off, it was more so me coming out of pocket with a lot of things. Over time, yeah, I got a little bit of grants and stuff here and there, just to boost it up. But how it really started was more so for me just putting in money into it, just slowly over time and time again. So, sometimes if you really want something to get done, you gotta do it yourself. And that's kind of how I
Well,
came up with it. It
that
wasn't
is definitely
easy, but
word.
it was worth it. Definitely was worth it.
So since we're in the middle of a Panera Express, okay, Panera. How has this
Child.
COVID pandemic affected you as a fashion designer and your business?
Um, Negative would be, I would say, kind of like doing like certain things like pop-up shops, doing like little like being a vendor for certain events and stuff that may be going on. And then kind of like doing like certain projects, like traveling to go certain places and then having to be around only a limited amount of people. And to want to do a couple of fashion shows as well. But I like to see big crowds, but nowadays it gotta be like what a group of 10. Like but
We
positively wise,
gotta
I
be in a
would
room full
say
of 20, socially distanced, honey.
hello, annoying, just kill it. But no, I would say positively, I can say that one of the things that really, helped was just more so it opened my creative mind a little more. Like a lot of times, people think like they won't get no inspiration or they won't have no motivation to do it. I beg to differ. I still felt like, I could still do things just because like it may not be publicly don't mean that, I can't still sit and just work on things. So, I still take the time to really come up with stuff like every day is something new with me. So like every day I will literally come up with something. Like there's never a time where I don't just not, create. Literally, like I can sit here and be like, ooh, I could think of a collection years from now. Just
Yeah,
for one moment, just think about like,
yeah,
ooh, I want to see this in the future. You know what I mean? So I can't honestly say like being during this whole little event that we got going on in this world, definitely helped me kind of like open my creative mind a little more.
definitely. I can definitely see the pandemic giving a lot of creators. I know, especially for myself, I've had a lot of downtime to start a new business.
Mhm.
Excuse me. Start a new business, run the business I have now, and just kind of just sit down and write down all my goals, write down my planner for the whole year, when I'm going to start launching stuff and stuff like that. So I definitely would say there has been a positive side to being at home and having nothing but time. Okay, so far as how you run your business, are you solo or do you have a team behind you?
As far as, certain things, I am alone. But I do have like amazing models, amazing ambassadors that, help me promote, post things. Have a lovely photographer. Um, and then other than that, everything else I do myself.
Okay, okay. So are you currently accepting any brand ambassador applications for those out there who may want to be a brand ambassador for items?
Um, yes, but at the same time, I'm very picky because a lot of times people don't be as committed as they should be. So, I get asked all the time, like, I want to model, I want to be this, that, and third with people. But my thing is like, I can tell who would be consistent, who wouldn't be. So I kind of just, weigh my options out right now. But I can't say I probably will make an announcement here because I do need some more males currently at the moment because I have my females already, but I have been looking for like more males, especially because like with the collection I'm working on now, it's a lot of male pieces that people are going to see too. So, I'm stepping into the male side a little more and just getting a little fun with this. So definitely we'll be looking for some more males here soon. So
Hey, fellas, y'all hear that now? Once this little brand ambassador sign up go out, y'all better go ahead and sign up so y'all can get y'all modeling on. Okay. I know there's some
okay.
good looking brothers out there, so y'all better go ahead and sign up. Don't waste your talent. Don't waste your looks.
Looks.
Okay, so how do you decide for the pricing for your product, for the collection? How do you decide how much you're going to price things?
So I'm very reasonable. So I try not to go too high, but at the same time, I know my worth too. So I also want to make sure that whatever I'm pricing or charging, I want to make sure that it's good for the customer, but it's also good for me because I'm still going to profit, you know. So, most of the times I don't never do nothing too crazy, because again, like I said, I'm still kind of like freshly new, but I'm not new, but I'm still new, you know what I'm saying? So like
Right.
I want to work my way up, you know what I mean? But even then, I still probably feel like, as I get more out there and my business, expands more, like part of me still kind of like debating on how I want to do the pricing, like see if I want to like keep it going up or just keep it like at a steady level. But again, it kind of goes to by just what I get for it. Like if it's like certain fabrics, because fabric cost is a lot different than most. So, fabric cost is a thing. So sometimes things will be a little higher because of the quality of the fabric and second, third. But for the most part, I just try to make sure like it's still reasonable for the customer, but also good enough to where I can still profit off it. So that's pretty much how it works.
Okay, okay. So do you say it's kind of hard sometimes for you to find that happy medium to where your pricing is, in a good for your customer and good for the product quality, but also, dealing with customers who complain about the pricing?
Very much. I get in half of the time, a lot of times people do complain. Yet I see them buying stuff a little higher than normal, but hey, that's just me. But I don't know. I mean, eventually, I kind of realized, the target that I'm looking for, they're gonna buy it, regardless of how much the price is. So it took a while for me to kind of understand that, but now it's like, the people that's complaining, they're not the ones that I'm supposed to be targeting. The ones who like are interested in, asking about, them the ones that I want to get. So if you really want it, you'll buy it.
That's true. That's definitely true. Knowing your target audience is very important. I'm glad you hit that little tidbit right there because that was a jewel. I don't know if y'all caught that, but he dropped that jewel. Like knowing your
Okay.
target audience is so important because you're going to have people who are going to complain about your prices, but that just means that group of people, they're not a part of your target audience because your target audience is going to pay for whatever you price your product to be. So this is for people out here who may feel like, okay, maybe I'm charging too much. Know your target audience, then you'll know you're not charging too much. Because people
Because
gonna
if
pay.
you're not charging too much, you ain't charging too much to the right people.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, that's a word, honey. So how did you know that entrepreneurship was your calling?
Good question. So I think like after a while with me working, I kind of just told myself like, with me doing customer service and retailing, like that was, the goal was just to sell things, that's the whole purpose of, even though like, yeah, you got to convince here and there, but for me, it was just kind of more so just about making sure that, the customer is satisfied with it. And that's something that they want, you know what I mean? So I think after a while, I just kind of sat there and thought to myself, like, if they can do this, if this company came from this, why can't I start my own little company and, be an entrepreneur and just really like start selling things and, getting me some customers and give me some nice little clientele, you know what I mean? So after a while, I got tired of working for those people. I said, I need to work for myself.
Okay.
I need to be my own boss, something. And, surely enough, I be having clients in there for asking for custom pieces and wanting this done. So, I mean, after a while, you just have to say yourself, like, it's about that time to get a move on and start making your own money.
Okay. So, piggybacking off of that question, what advice would you give to up and coming fashion designers or entrepreneurs who are scared to take that leap to go ahead and just start? What advice would you give to them?
Do it. It may be hard in the beginning, but if you stay consistent, if you push yourself, and if you, believe in yourself, then I believe that without a doubt, you know what I'm saying, you'll flourish. You'll, do what you do. The one thing I will tell people though, just don't let nobody tell you different. A lot of times we get these little comments like, oh, maybe you should do something else, or I don't know, like the little hate comments that people get. Don't let those phase you, because a lot of times, because you have to wake up one day and you seeing someone do something that you want to do, you're gonna be mad, but you have to manage yourself because
You didn't sleep on that dream.
yeah, don't sleep on that dream. You better wake up and get that dream going.
Okay, because self-doubters is real. You will have people who are your friends, I'll even say family, who will try to convince you that maybe this isn't right for you or maybe you should. Those are the people who are going to be the same ones once you blow up, going to be sitting there with their hand out like the Grove sisters, and they're going to be mad because they didn't believe the vision. It wasn't what you shooting in the gym, honey, okay?
Right, definitely.
That's definitely some good advice. I'm hoping y'all listening because the gems is dropping. The gems is just
they
falling.
are dropping. Yeah, they're dropping.
Okay, so we all hope for longevity in our careers, in our startup businesses. Where do you see yourself and Iconic Styles in the next 10 years?
We're going global, baby. We're gonna be going global. We're gonna be having sold out shows in all different countries, everything. Like my main plan that I want to do is I want to do a show that I have never seen no one do before. So like, most people do shows, on a red carpet or on a stage. Me, on the other hand, I want to do show like underwater or some stuff. You know what I mean? Like I want to go all out. I want to be the first one to do some crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, Tyra Banks. honey, he about to have the girls doing obstacle courses. Like,
Never know. Might have him on a tightrope. Never know what I'm gonna do.
Tyra, you better cut it out, Tyra. Tyra used to have him doing the most bizarre fashion shows. Like, honey, I used to be watching American Next Top Model. Like, nope, that would have been the episode. I would have got kicked off.
Oh.
I remember one season, she had them. They were on this building. I think it was for a photo shoot, or was it for? It was two different, but they were actually on a tall building, like strapped to bungee cords, like supposed to be like walking down the building, like slanted, like walking down. And I think it might have been for a photo shoot, but I'm not sure if it was a photo shoot or a fashion show. But I was just like, that would have been the day that I would have went home. That would have been my last cycle. Because, baby, I don't do heights. It ain't
just like dare to be bold.
Me, but no, I'm here for that. Like, I like fashion shows. I love creative fashion shows. Like, if I'm going to be at your fashion show, I want to be like, okay. I don't want to be there talking to my girlfriend on the side because it's boring.
You're like, I want to make it fun, and and that's a Black designer that like it's important that I make that statement happen. You know what I mean? Like, I want to make a point. Like, I too can do what the average designer can do. You know what I mean? Like, and I can go above and beyond too. So, I feel like with my creative mind, I feel like I'm able to really like break the barriers of fashion, because that's one of my main things. Like, especially in like the different worlds, like the business world, and then there's the modern day world. You know what I mean? So, like over the next 10 years, like I just hope that I'm able to elevate fashion in a different way. Like, be more open minded about things and be more optimistic. And just really showing like creativeness has its way of making things happen.
So as a Black fashion designer, a young Black fashion designer, how do you see the future of fashion for us people of Black skin? Where do you see us as far as fashion? Do you see us being more of the headliners, more like the new fashion, Black fashion is going to be? These are the designers the it designers. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel like we're going to transform the fashion industry or create our own?
Well, let's be honest. We kind of invented a lot of things, so. But I feel like with us, I think that we will elevate fashion a little more, especially because like nowadays, like I've seen so many different Black designers that's really like coming crazy with some things, and it's like,
for sure.
Like it's a couple that I've been paying attention to that I can honestly say like they definitely do their stuff. But that also just goes with like even like with just like stylists, everything, so I feel like fashion will definitely be like a big elevation over time. Like, it's already big now. It's already changed by a lot. So just imagine how the next 10 years are going to be. So I just personally believe that, with the right person in the right time, I feel like it'll show, you know what I mean? So I'm here for it. I can't wait to see.
I definitely agree, because like just watching the inauguration, like Madam Vice President Kamala Harris, that day before, I want to say, or the day of, she was wearing a Black designer. Michelle Obama was wearing a Black designer. A lot of them are starting to look at Black designers who were once small businesses. They're becoming household names, and their name is starting to hold weight. Like, like Telfar bags, like that was never his idea to be popular. His idea was to be affordable, but I am high fashion. It's affordable high fashion because most of these handbags, a lot of the girls can't afford. I know I can't afford nobody's Birkin bag. Not even if I wanted one, honey. But I appreciate a lot of these Black designers coming and changing the face of luxury fashion and changing the way that people view Black designers. Like, we are definitely coming in, making a way for future designers, and I appreciate all the Black fashion designers because they're definitely that thing.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna do a little quick shout out real quick. It's this
Go ahead,
one.
a quick shout out to your people.
This one part. It's like, no, how many is it that it's a few of them that I actually can say like I like the most. Like, Jahi is one. It's by a guy named Keely Cooper. Definitely has some nice couture pieces for women. Definitely love his aesthetics that he has. Another one that I'm thinking about that I would want that I've seen. What's his name? His name's Christian Anthony. It's another one. He makes little custom pieces, but like I love how they look like they're dope, they're raw. Love how he works by it. Another one was Tony Visions. I've seen some of his work. Nice, definitely. Is there any other ones that I can think about? If I think about the rest of them,
You definitely think about them. Send them to me. Send them.
There's a lot of them.
I support black businesses, small, big, startup. That is who I am. That's who I'm always want to be, and this platform will always be for Black people. I mean, white people, they can be whoever nationality you are. You're welcome to be on Red Jacket. You're welcome to watch Red Jacket. But
all that,
my people, I'm gonna make sure that we are getting the exposure we deserve, because a lot of times small businesses don't get the exposure that they deserve. So
not at all.
I definitely love some of these new, not necessarily new, some of them have already been here. They're just finally getting more popularity. But I would say I'm loving a lot of these Black fashion designers. They're giving looks, like they are giving looks.
It's crazy. Like, it's this one. I don't remember her name, but I remember she made these coats, and they were so adorable. Like, I still to the day want one. I plan on getting one. When?
Well, if you find her Instagram, that to me so I can look at them coats. I love me.
I got you. I got you.
Okay. So we're nearing the end of our interview. I'm just going to ask you a few more questions so that people can get to know you a little better. Okay. What advice would you give yourself last year for starting your business?
Trust the process. It may seem like it's hard. It may seem like, it's not going to go nowhere. But in due time, you're going to be bigger than what you are now. So that was one of the main things. Like I would tell myself back then. I would also tell myself to, keep creating. Never limit the amount of creativeness you pop out with. In other words, let your mind do whatever, let it run and let it, soar out, because a lot of times I think we limit ourselves to how crazy things can be. And I kind of had to realize, as a creator, you know what I'm saying? Like nothing is too crazy. I feel like anything is possible. Like I've seen things I never would have thought I would ever see. So in that moment, that should tell you right there, you know what I'm saying? Be as creative as you want to be. Don't stop. Don't, think less about it, let it come out naturally. You know what I mean? So don't force it, but just let it just naturally flow. If you do it right, and you believe in yourself, anything is possible.
That's good advice. That's some good self-advice that anybody can take. Because I was over here like, yes, you're speaking directly to me. Yes.
Yeah, girl, yes.
Okay, so where can the people find Iconic Styles on social media? How can they sign up for newsletters so they can know when this new collection is dropping?
I'm gonna send the website to you, but I can say social media wise, you got Instagram and Twitter, and they're both under the Iconic Styles. That's THE Iconic Styles. Then you have the website again. It'll be iconicstyles.myvolition.com, but I'll make sure I send the link to you. That way your followers can see them too. So yeah, that's where y'all can find me at. You know, see all the new upcoming updates. I got another update coming very soon as far as the new collection go. Want to release another new piece.
We're excited. Are you going to drop any more sneak peeks? Because I like the sneak peek you dropped with the bodysuit. That little spandex. See, listen, I got to get rid of some of this mommy tummy. I'm not ready yet. Or I'm going to get me some Skims and suck it all in.
You can still wear it.
I need a little bit more
courage, girl. No, so how I want everyone to know about how I'm doing these little sneak peek drops is kind of like, think of this as a video. It's gonna be like a video game. So it's like you have all these unlocked characters, aka unlocked pieces that hasn't been shown yet. So over time, I'm gonna show a couple of them. I'm gonna show all of them, but I'm gonna show y'all some of the ones that I think would be like, ooh, I want that one. Okay. That one right there. So yeah, it's gonna be, got one coming up here and I say maybe about a week.
Okay.
So just be prepared. You never know. Might pop out one, might pop out with two at the same time. You never know.
Okay. So y'all better go ahead. I'm gonna drop all the social media links also in the comment section so that you guys can like on social media and also subscribe to the newsletters on the website. You don't want to miss this new collection. I'm telling y'all, I'm excited. I only seen the pieces y'all seen, so I didn't get no sneak peek. Okay.
Rest assured, y'all, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be some fire.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any last minute thoughts that you want to leave for our Red Jacket listeners, your supporters, and subscribers?
I want to go ahead and take the time to say, for all my designers out there who want to start and just haven't started yet, start now. Like, your time is now. You know, if you ain't heard no other side, I'm telling you, you know, your time is now. So definitely get a move on with that. Another thing too, I'm gonna say is, you know, again, thank you for having me. I definitely appreciate it. I definitely felt so honored. And then lastly, I'm gonna say, you know, to all my creative people out there, you know what I'm saying? Stay creating, stay creative, you know, be bold. Don't never have to hide it, you know, show off your uniqueness, you know what I'm saying? Because there's only one you. You can't replace that. Can't replace the type of you that you are ever. Love yourself and love your work. Period.
Listen, that was a great final remark. Like, again, we're gonna give you our hand clap. This is our crowd. They're going crazy. I again want to thank you so much for taking your time out of your day to sit down with me in Red Jacket Daily during our first ever Red Jacket Talk segment. There will be more of these to come. So if you guys like our interviews and you want to see yourself here on the Zoom, because there will not be any face-to-face, not this year, baby. Not this year.
Got a little panoramic going on.
I don't know about this little panoramic that's going on here. I be done passed out trying to wear a mask. Like, honey, we're going to be so far apart that we're going to need 2 cameras.
Hello?
But if you want to see yourself doing on a Zoom interview with me, definitely reach us at Red Jacket Daily on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And it's redjacketdaily.com is how you can go to our website, subscribe to our newsletters so that you can see what we have going on for Red Jackets. We have a lot of things coming up this year that I'm also excited about. We have finally a collection coming out that I cannot wait to show the people. But I want to thank everybody for sitting here and sitting through our interview. Again, Alan, thank you for coming out. Giving us a look. Matter of fact, let us see the outfit before we disconnect. Let us see a little bit.
Okay, this ain't not really just a little, little Tommy jeans, little nice little shirt. I got this shirt from a Black-owned business named Chantel. Definitely follow her. She's definitely got good pieces on hand. Just a little bit of jewelry here. Nice little necklace.
You blinging.
Yeah, my brand. You see okay. Me. Yeah, you know, this is a little something, but y'all definitely will see some new looks coming soon from me. So, and if y'all know me, y'all know I
What's your Instagram handle, just in case people want to follow you directly?
Okay, so my main Instagram is official iconic styles. So that's where you just see me.
And them looks that he about to give, because he said he dropping looks, honey.
Dropping looks. I haven't. It's great because I haven't posted since my birthday, so I've just been really cooking up some looks and stuff. And I'm like, but pop out with something nice, something that's gonna shock the fans.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this segment. Stay tuned for our next one. We have another Black-owned designer and owner coming on our next interview. You guys have a good one, Alan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.